Hi Virgo, welcome to your April Astro-Tarot scope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Virgo, this is for you. But I always advise that you watch your ascendant sign first, because whenever I'm talking about astrology, your ascendant sign is going to be the most accurate for the day to day. And then obviously check out your sun and your moon after to see how they're going to speak to you. With that said, if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you, and if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit the subscribe button. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your, let me pop these to the side. All right, so the first transit that so we're going to be looking at 4 transits this month, and there's 2 are happening on the same day, but okay, you seem to want out, I hear you. All right, so the first transit that we're looking at, Tarot getting very vocal there. The first transit that we're going to look at is Mercury conjunct the North Node. So on the 6th of April, same day as the Libra full moon, I might add. On the 6th of April, we are having the Mercury, your ruling planet, is going to be conjunct the North Node. So Mercury, communication, writing, speaking, right? Interaction, your thought process, your thoughts, your speech, how you connect with the world through the medium of communication, conjunct the North Node. Now, the North Node is a point of which it's kind of like a driving force energy that bubbles up from within you that pulls you forward. You don't really understand why, you just know that you need to do this thing. You feel pulled or called in that direction. And it can show up sometimes as kind of like an insatiable hunger, like I have to do this. This thing needs to be birthed or pushed out into the world in some way, shape or form, or that's the destination that I must go. So you've got a natal North Node, but we've also got the transiting North Node, and the current transiting North Node is in the sign of Taurus. So this conjunction for you between Mercury, your ruling planet, and the North Node are happening in the sign of Taurus, which are at a trine to your own sign, right? So this is pouring a lot of positive, harmonious energy into you. Now, the fact that this conjunction is happening in your 9th house, this is, the 9th house is TV, it's broadcasting, it's writing, publishing, speaking, it's things that you are creating in that sort of literary sense. This is publishing houses, all of those kinds of things. For those of you that are writing books, blogs, anything that wants or needs to be published out into the world, plays, sitcoms, shows, etc., this could be a powerful month for you. It could be where you get some fated kind of, because that's what I'm saying, right? So you get some sort of fated, the North Node communication, Mercury, that comes in your 9th house about a book, about a TV, about a film, about a podcast even. Maybe you're invited to speak. Now, the 9th house is also higher education and further education. So yes, for some of you, this could be about where you become a teacher, or you take your teaching, coaching, mentoring in a different direction. It could just as easily be, though, that you become a student once more and you take your learning or your subject knowledge your subject knowledge on a certain matter or skill to the next level, which for Virgos is pretty intense, right? Because you guys tend to, Virgos are very intelligent people, and their ability to kind of forensically dig into stuff is always evident. So very interesting. Mercury might be pulling in connections that can potentially see your voice out there in the world. So I love this as well, especially if it's something that supports a goal that is really heartfelt for you. And for this, you have the 3 of Wands. You've got the 7 of Wands, interesting, and the Ace of Swords, right? So there's definitely a communication coming in here somewhere, but it looks like you're not really happy with the way that it is. So, and what I mean by this is maybe you get a job offer, maybe you get invited to study a course and you think, well, you know, you haven't got any modules for this, this and this. There is an ability for you to change it, but you are probably going to have to fulfill the role of teacher and student at the same time, which I'm sure most of you are probably very comfortable with. Another way that this could show up as well is there might be some contract that you need to kind of muscle in on. Now, the ninth house is also legal matters, right? So things like visas, law, anything to do with the law or legalities, etc., is also shown up in the ninth house. So this could be that there's a contract that you're kind of looking over and you say, actually, I'm not happy with this, and this. Somewhere you're being really clear about what doesn't work for you at this moment in time. And I actually think this could be very good for you in a sense, because it's a moment of honesty with yourself about where something is good but it's not great, where something is good but it's not perfect, where something is close to but not exactly what you want. So I like that a lot. All right, for the next transit on the 11th of April, the sun, the illuminating sun, ruler of your 12th house, the energy of authority figures and matters, is going to be in your 8th house, and it's coming into a conjunction with Jupiter, the lord of expansion, growth, fortune, happiness, abundance, levity even, right? It's also a visionary and prophecy kind of energy. Now, Jupiter in the 8th in men is said to bring vision, prophecy, and foresight. In women, this is said to bring the touch of healing, right? The goddess's touch, basically. I think it can bring both in this conjunction to the sun. I think it can bring both healing. I think it can bring illumination. So this is known as like one of the luckiest days of the year, right? The sun, the life-giving, ever-loving sun is pouring its brilliance into your 8th house, potentially healing some sort of wound or some kind of challenge or issue that you've had. Conjunct Jupiter, which represents healing. This could be a powerful rewriting of a wound or a fear of some kind. It could also see you getting a much more illuminated perspective on some kind of wound, trauma, or issue that you've had from your past. Now, I really like this for you, and because Jupiter rules your 4th house and your 7th house, so your 4th house of home, property, family, real estate, your 7th house of one-on-one partnerships, marriage, contracts, etc., and the sun is the ruler of your 12th, it's bringing blessings from or through the home, but also from or through the family or the significant other. But these are blessings that are unexpected. They come in ways that you don't expect. Now, the 8th house is also sex, sensuality. It's other people's money and resources. This combination with Jupiter being so visionary and forward-thinking, it might present you with an ability to spot an opportunity to draw more money to you from or through other people. Pay attention to your nudges and your hunches on this day, because they could be really, really lucrative. I also like this for sexual healing, for tantra, illumination of a fear around sex and sensuality that kind of can be rewritten at this moment in time. Then you've got the Page of Wands, Page of Pentacles. That's why, because the Page of Wands is the next card, right? And then you've got the Chariot card. Love this. Really interesting, because in my progress chart, I'm a Virgo ascendant. So, so 2 pages represents the energy of disquiet. The Chariot card is victory and success. It's also when sometimes the Chariot card shows up when we conquer an aspect of ourselves. And so what this says to me is, especially with the Page of Wands, this Sun-Jupiter conjunction, it gives you the ability to overcome a shortcoming of your own, right? Not to say that you have any. Virgo always seems like Mary Poppins to me, practically perfect in every way. Do you know what I mean? Like, which is like an acknowledgement that I'm not perfect, but I'm pretty fucking close. Do you know what I mean? I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about Virgos in general. It's an energy that I've always attributed to you guys, because she weren't afraid to get her hands dirty, right? It's like, we're going to do the work, but a spoonful of sugar and all of that. Like, that's why I see Virgo in that way. With the Page of Pentacles, this could have a slant or a leaning towards business and or finances, other people's money. The Page of Wands is finding the enjoyment in that. And then the Chariot card, or the two pages, that's the disquiet. So you're talking something out here, possibly bantering it out, possibly even hashing it out with someone. Mind your business, Siri. I just felt my watch activators because I'm being so loud and animated. And then with the Chariot card there, it's like you're conquering an aspect of yourself that has held you back because you have perceived it or believed it to be a shortcoming in some way. It's definitely a healing of a wound here. Now, on the same day, Venus, the attractive love goddess of harmony, beauty, money, finances, worth, resource in some way, shape or form, is sitting on the 0 degree of your sibling sign of Gemini, which for you is your, oh, come on, brain. Just want to make sure I've got that right. Yes, sorry. So, and then Pluto is sat at the 0 degree of, I've got the wrong right up, I think. Pluto is sat at the 0 degree of Aquarius, right? Which is your 6th house. So Gemini, Venus being in your 10th house, sorry, not your 11th house. So Venus is in your 10th house of Gemini at 0 degrees. Venus is an attraction, right? She can bring things to you, make you more harmonious, diplomatic, more attractive, or attracting to the things that you want. Pluto is an energy of magnetism. It draws things to it by its very sort of magnetic, intense kind of nature. Both of these planets are at 0 degrees. And because they're at 0 degrees, there's something new being initiated with this transit, and it's for the better because it's a trine. Your 10th house is your career, your social status, your public standing, how you meet and greet the world, right? Not from your ascendant. That's not your personality on the day-to-day. This is Radiant reality is me doing my 10th house, to give you an example. The 6th house is your grind. It's the house that actually is ruled by your sign, naturally anyway. This is about your service to the world, but for me, the 6th house is a maintenance house. It's how you maintain the things that you've got so that you can keep them. This is where we do the daily grind, right, of work, washing the dishes, washing the car, topping things up, all of that kind of stuff. This magnetic energy then is happening between two work houses for you. Pluto in the 6th can also, I might add here as well, if you've had any weird or kind of mysterious ailments come up, that's probably Pluto, right? Pluto moving through the 6th house. I'm just about to wrap this transit up. And one thing that I did notice throughout that is from 2008, I had a patch, just a really weird patch of dry skin show up here on my head. And then it worked its way down to my eyebrow. And then it went down to the side of my neck. And it's literally gone right the way down the left side of my body. So weird, right? And now that Pluto's at 29 of Capricorn, about to leave my 6th house, all of that's gone, right? Nowhere to be seen, but flaky skin and stuff like that, that's a Plutonic thing, right? It's a purging kind of energy. So if you notice something like that, don't panic, it's probably Pluto. I'm not a doctor, this isn't medical advice. If you've got something, go and get it checked out. I did, and they were just like, we think it's just eczema. And I was like, I had eczema when I was a kid. This is not that. It was just super, super weird. TMI probably, but there you go. This is an attraction energy. So if you need to hire someone, the 11th, well, the 10th, the 11th and the 12th of April are good days to look for hiring someone, because you could find somebody that's really good at what they do. The Venus is the ruler of your 2nd and your 5th houses. This could be a creative idea or endeavor that really helps amplify your earning potential. Venus is an attractant. She brings things to her, right? She attracts gifts and blessings and all of that. So this could be really, really nice. And she's going to be moving through your 10th house for some time. Well, certainly about 4 weeks anyway. And then finally, I've put here as well, I wonder if this provides you with a chance to talk something out that you have needed to air out. So, you know, Pluto doing the intense thing, maybe it's kind of like, in order to heal this connection, this relationship or whatever, we're going to have to talk it out. And for this, you have the Seven of Swords, so calling out some BS wherever it is, of potentially a bigger or larger institution. So for those of you that are employed by somebody else, you might call an employer out on something, right? And that Three of Pentacles, I would expect no less. You are armed and ready with knowledge and information to tear down any argument that they come up with. I actually feel like this may very well be that. Maybe you catch your employer in a lie after they told you they couldn't give you the pay rise. You know, it could be anything like that. On the brighter note of this scale, because the Hierophant card has a very similar energy to 6th house stuff, it's our day-to-day routines, our habits, our rituals. With that Three of Pentacles, this might be where you start to realize something that you've been doing is actually undermining your health, maybe your own authority in some way, shape or form, and you could sniff it out at this time. So that could be quite beneficial for you, even if it is uncomfortable. And then on the 20th, so the day we've got the Taurus new moon, you have the Sun at 0 degrees of Taurus and Pluto at 0 degrees of Aquarius, right? These guys are going to be in a square to each other. Remember, a square makes you uncomfortable enough to do something about it. This could be, because the Sun is in your 9th at this point, this could be the illumination or the immediate attention that comes to a legal matter, especially if it's got something to do especially if it's got something to do with potentially a larger institution. Now, this is interesting because that energy that shows up on the 11th with the Venus trine Pluto, where it goes too far on that pendulum swing, this Sun square Pluto is going to bring it back into balance in some way. And so I've got this as like a stamp that shit out now kind of energy. And it's likely that someone or something from your past pertaining to school, college, university, or even an issue from the neighborhood that you once lived in could show up for you now. And if it does, deal with it head on straight. I mean, you're a Virgo, I don't need to tell you this. Then you've got the Seven of Pentacles, so you are dealing with it slowly and steadily, which is great. You've got the King of Wands, which means you need to be vocal about this, right? You've also got potentially a support system here in a fire sign male, an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. And then you've got the Ten of Swords. And this Ten of Swords it's potentially a bust up, right? But what I like about it being the Ten of Swords, whatever challenge or issue arises from this Sun square Pluto on the 20th of April, it will dissipate. Like, once it's done and you've dealt with it, it will be done. It won't carry on. Like, it really does end where it is, okay? So let's have a look at the weeks of your month. I know you're probably thinking, hang on a sec, Raph, where is the sectors of the month, right? So those are going to be coming in separate videos, I have decided, because otherwise these are too long. And I want to make these kind of easily accessible and digestible for everybody so that they can kind of say, okay, I take that on board. You know, if I need to come back to it, I will. So for the first week, you've got the Star card, right? Beautiful. Look at that. Hope, joy, a strong sense that the future is calling and happening now, and you're getting a glimpse into the future. So that Mercury conjunct the North Node in the sign of Taurus in your 9th house, that is on its own, is, like I said, right, it's a visionary energy because the 9th house has rules to that. So pay attention to your hunches, your nudges, and your dreams. Then you've got the Star card with the moon. I think this second week of the month, you're going to become very clearly aware of who is with you and for you and who is not. This couplet of cards is a very interesting one, and it stands for something that I'm not going to go into here because otherwise I'd be here forever trying to explain it. But what I will say is this. There is an adjustment due to an inconsistency that needs to be looked at here in the second week of the month. All right. In your third week of the month, you've got the Judgment card. I love this. Now, the moon card represents the past anyway, and when coupled with the judgment card, this is usually a big blast from the past. We talked about April, and I said it's something to do with school, maybe an institution that you've been a part of, maybe from something from your old neighborhood. It could be something as tedious as like an old fucking parking ticket that they're chasing you down for. As if these people ain't got enough money. Like, what, you need my 20 quid? Get a grip, man. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that shit really bugs me, because I just think to myself, like, this is from like 5 years ago. How much money has it taken you to track me down for this fucking parking ticket? Get a life. Anywho, soapbox moment over. The judgment card, yeah, you know, this could be someone or something from your deep past that pops up and you're kind of like, okay, this needs to be dealt with. Then you've got the temperance card, but it is whatever it is that you're dealing with, by the end of the month, it's fully laid to rest. And that temperance card means that you have an out. You're transmuting a hell of a lot of energy over the course of this month. And I really think that there's a lot of advancement here for you, providing you are able and willing to get into the strongest sense of alignment that you've been in for a while. Okay, so now we're going to look at your moons. I'm not going to go into great detail here. One, because I don't have the time, and, you know, because you're going to get your full moon and your new moon reports where I'll go into much more detail. All right, so on the 6th of the month, the same day as that Mercury conjunction, and it's not just that, like on the same day and the day after, we've got there's sextile to Saturn and to Mars at the same time as well. So the Libra full moon, you've got the gate 56 and storyteller, and the message behind this card, it basically says the full moon is going to show you what knowledge, experiences that you have and your history that can be applied to your life right now that you can use moving forward. So this is basically saying you've got a wealth of knowledge, input and insight at your fingertips now. You don't need to create more, which is important for a lot of you at this moment in time. And then you've got the gate 21 and control. So on the 20th or the 21st, give or take, wherever you are in the world, of April. Sorry, I have to really think about that one for a minute. You got the gate 21 and control, and this Taurus new moon for you is happening in your 9th house. But because it's the gate 21 and control, the message behind this card isn't to have more control. It's to relinquish control, to find a way to say, okay, I'm not in control here. I'm not in charge. This is really hard for Virgos. It's really hard for you guys. And this is why, you know, you guys get that sort of message of the trope of, oh, you're a perfectionist. It's because you try to control as much of the chaos of life as you possibly can. Unfortunately, this new moon in Taurus is going to show you that you don't have any. And if you can find it somewhere within yourself to just kind of put your hands up and say, okay, you know what? I'm not in control anywhere here. Let it be what it's going to be. I promise you the growth that comes out of it will be something that truly stands the test of time and really speaks directly to your soul. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic month. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.